Woohoo! Grand Rising, great time to be alive. Jamie Jameson here. Pajama Jam time. Here's some cacao. This is sacred medicine from the earth. Thank you, God, for the creations that you give us, the life that you give us, the health that you give us, the body you give us, the abundance, the sources, the resources. Oh, the angels to protect us, our family, our friends, the love in our hearts to carry us through. Loneliness and isolation can be deadly. And thank you for the community and the friends of people that we get to share our experiences with so we don't feel alone. And if you're alone out there, I love you. You're not alone. There's a spirit within you that will always keep you company. And when you find that Holy Spirit, when you find that connection with your deepest self, with love, with God within you, because you are an expression of God in a human form. Jesus was the highest example of that. And you will attract exactly what you need. And I attract exactly what I need. And sometimes I don't like what I attract. And it hurts. Love sickness hurts. Family quarrels hurt. You know, that disconnect from the ones we love and that companionship. If you have a strong family and you have a strong connection, please be grateful for what you have. Do not take that for granted. A lot of us are struggling out there with grief, with disconnect, with egos and anger and taking shots at each other and trying to tear each other down instead of building each other up because of jealousy or because of misalignment. And, you know, sometimes it's not a good fit. You know, sometimes we're not a good fit and we can look past that. You know, we can. But, you know, in business and relationships, for whatever value that's bringing, sometimes it just doesn't work. But we can still love the person. We can still have feelings for that human being, you know, in our heart. And that can be tough sometimes. I'm really going through it right now. I've been going through it for a while with my family because I love them deeply. And I didn't show up in the best way possible. I tried to be of service and I ended up messing things up. And it just got worse and snowballed. But I'm praying for that time when I can be back in unity with my family and with my friends and people that I've done wrong and make amends. And, you know, not necessarily done wrong intentionally, but there was a miscommunication, or maybe I showed up and represented myself in a way that wasn't it didn't feel good, you know. And when, you know, people don't remember what you say, they remember how they feel. And I've had to protect myself over the years, and I've had to, basically, in order to protect, you know, what I love and the people that I love, I've had to put up boundaries and I've had to act out in certain ways and say no and decline and put up boundaries around things that, you know, at one time I loved and it was working, but life happens. And before I go off on too much of a rant, if you're going through it, you know, since 2020, shit's been crazy, guys. We know this. You know, it's almost like the earth shifted, dimension shifted, you know, however you want to say it. You know, spiritual warfare is heavy right now. And I think we're all going through it in some way, but don't be alone. Like, get out there. You know, there's by default, there's a program called AA or NA. You know, if you're struggling, and even if you're not struggling, if you want to decide to put it down for a minute and check in with your sober self and your clear mind, you know, and you're struggling with that, you can go to an AA meeting. And I just say this as a default place to go see people that need you. They need your love, they need your company, they need your intelligence, they need your story, they need love to come together. And it's a beautiful thing. I've been doing it for 10 years. And I'm not necessarily an alcoholic, but I have other things that I learned from the program. And one of those is unity, service, and it's, you know, fellowship. So you don't have to be alone. There are groups out there. People can be very rude and very mean, you know, and arrogant, and especially with social media, they can be very standoffish. But I just want to say, if you're going through it, you're not alone. If you have a good family and you've got a good network, and you have an abundance of friends, like genuine good friends, then please go in your heart right now and say thank you to the Creator, whatever you think that is. And just take a minute to be thankful for what you have. And it never hurts to go write down on a piece of paper positive attributes about yourself. For one thing, I have all 10 fingers and 10 toes, and I can stand and I can walk. Even just starting there, go off on a roll. I've got food, I've got a bed, I've got a roof, I've got water, I've got a car to drive. I'm not in jail, I'm not in a hospital bed. Like, there's so much to be grateful for. So let's check in with that gratitude. And thank you for joining me. I apologize if I went off on a tangent, but this is important to check in, to be honest with yourself. I've been grieving and I'm hurting, but I still show up for work and I still show up for community. But yeah, sometimes it helps just to say that, I'm putting on a mask. I think a lot of people are putting on masks. So here's to you and still being here, fighting the good fight. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, home of 3 chords and the truth. I have trouble with reaching some things. I am shorter than I'd like to be. My fingers don't reach as far as I'd like them to. But I make do. I'm gonna take my time. I'm not going to rush, just in order to get people to stay engaged with my video. I switched to the wrong chord right there. That's a better mode, I swear. There's a certain kind of healing that happens within me. When I carry the 6-string and a microphone. The world slows down and I get around, and sometimes I take requests, but I'd rather play and sing my own stories about my quest. In this life, I'm a nomad, vagabond. I never sit still. I'm living from a suitcase. Nobody will ever lock me down like they did before. before. I'm afraid to sit down. I don't wanna be on the floor anymore. I've done my time. It's time for me to fly and shine and take my music and medicine to the planet and see what I can bend. My reality is my perception. I used to think I was doing something wrong, so I wrote it down in a song and realized there are no mistakes. It's just part of the lessons I take to get to the next chapter and take with me all of the experience and the stories, so I may be able to share, but most importantly, sit and listen to you. Tell me your truth. I'll let you vent and get it out. I won't try to give you unsolicited advice. I'll just let you say what you need with an open heart. We don't do it enough, so let me start. This is where I will ask you your name and where you're from. Is it the same? I'm sure we'll find some similarities, and that will be good for us to sit and listen, even if it's only for a minute. Unload your burden, put down your backpack. Let's have a fire, let's smoke a cigarette, let's have a drink. Let's put down the world and think about why we're doing what we do. It's all for love, it's all for truth. We are here to shine our light, not to fight, to do what's right. 'Cause it's easier to sleep when you're not on repeat, when your head's not full of regret. It takes a minute, but I found that if I just sit still and be quiet, I can rest my soul. But my mind goes out of control, so I let it run around like a child in the aisle at church. It's just an innocent little soul doing what I would do when I was 3 years old. I didn't have a care in this world. I've would just bring joy to my family, 'cause they all adored me. And then we grew up, started to trigger each other, because we have expectations and disappointments and the way we think things should be. But my brothers and sisters have a different idea of me. So I try to bend, and then I eventually break, trying to please them and everybody else. It's the way I keep myself in hell. It's a state of mind. But I am free the minute I let go of the expectations of the world. My life is managing my expectations and avoiding disappointments. I am full of mediocrity, and I'm okay with that. I'm not trying to be a hero. I'm okay with being a zero. I'm not trying to impress anyone except the Creator. I want to live up to my highest manifestation of love and whatever else I'm here to do. I have no idea. But one day at a time, I can set my intention in my life. And I can say, today, I just want to be better than I was. I want to lose any kind of habit I want to change any kind of habits that were not serving me or others. I want to connect with unconditional love as much as I can. I know my head's going to judge things, and I know I'm going to judge people, and I know I'm going to have expectations, and that's just the programming of the mind that I'm changing. So I walk into a place and I look and I see people that are, I can project joy, I can project happiness, I can project and put an intention of, hey, this is going to be a good experience, and I'm going to make sure it becomes a good experience. I'm not going to impose my will on the server at the restaurant. I'm not going to impose my will at the person at the bank. You know, they're doing the best they can with the training that they have and their heart. You know, they're working hard. They have to feed their kids. They're doing whatever it takes, and they don't want to be there, but they're there. And so I need to be easier on people. We're all doing the best we can. But when I grew up, I had a programming, and I'm not blaming anybody but myself for allowing myself to be hijacked by some less than desirable character traits. Anyway, I say all that to say this. I'm fighting the good fight. I want to be better than I was. I want to make amends with all of my friends. I'm embarrassed sometimes to think of the ways that I acted, and I want to be able to fix that. You know, one day I'm going to be in an obituary, and when that happens, I don't want any negativity around my name or my image. I want to be able to leave a legacy of joy and gratitude and fun. And so I'm working on that. That's my project. That's my lifelong goal. To be better, to love, to accept, and to spread love. And music is my best catalyst for that. So thanks for joining me. I'm humbled that you're here. If you made it this far in the video, put grateful in the comments. Thank you so much. I love you. Cheers. Have a great day.